How's it going, everybody? We're back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about 1994's Maverick with James Garner, Mel Gibson, James Coburn, Alfred Molina, and Jodie Foster. So this movie is a classic, which means we will be getting into some spoilers. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, Maverick is a remake of a remake. Now, before this, the most popular version was James Garner's version from the late 70s, early 80s. And this movie is a Western, also a comedy, also an adventure movie, and kind of one of those con artist movies, kind of like a heist movie with poker, gunfights, Native American jokes. It's a classic. Now, the story is that Mel Gibson is an amazing gambler, but he wants to know if he's good enough to sit at the World Championship. And throughout the course of the movie, he's trying to get the money up so he can sit in at that table. He needs $25,000, and he's $3,000 short, and he's only got 3 days to go. Now, he comes across Jodie Foster, who's a con and a pickpocket, and James Garner, who seems to be this sort of forthright walking conscience for the whole thing, and he's very grumpy, and it's got some great chemistry between the three of them. Now, once this movie gets going, it's going to make you laugh. If you've ever seen any of the classic westerns, then there's some tropes in there that they make fun of. It's borderline meta. In fact, there is one scene in there where he's in the bank and Danny Glover comes in to rob the bank, and they both have a moment and look at each other like, huge wink to the camera there. Obviously that's a nod to Lethal Weapon, and oddly enough, this is a Richard Donner film, who also made the Lethal Weapon movies, so it's no surprise there. Also, later in the movie, you'll notice a couple of cameos that you may or may not be on the lookout for. Like at the World Poker Tournament, Clint Black is actually, the country music star, is actually playing poker, gets caught cheating and thrown off the boat. As well as Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard. I thought those were a couple of cool little nods. And also, blink and you miss it, one of the dealers is actually the chief of police from Lethal Weapon. Now, this movie, I don't know that it gets all the credit it deserves, because it's one of those sort of under the radar, mid-90s, where cranking them out by the studios. But this movie has a lot of charm, and it's not exactly the movie you would expect from Mel Gibson, where he's not necessarily the super action star that's always one up on everybody else. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is one up on everybody because he's the star of the movie. He plays Brett Maverick, and he's always got some little side hustle or some way to get out of all these scrapes he gets himself into. And all he's trying to do is collect money from people that owe him, then when he shows up, have another excuse or a story or some shisty little plan on how they're going to get out of giving him the money that they owe him. And he's got to pull all this together in 3 days. So it's fun, it's adventurous. If you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend it. With this movie, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. Which means it's definitely worth your time. It's probably not the best movie you've ever seen, but you also won't be sorry that you spent the time with it. So that's what I got to say about Maverick. Go ahead and check it out. I just watched it on Hulu, so that's streaming right now. And if you're new to the channel, what better time than now to subscribe and see all kinds of content like this. If you like the video, give me that thumbs up. And until then, I guess, have a great day, guys. We'll see you soon.